your prison shit, take some expired medications, and help your friend get the door. As I serve. Welcome to Texas, where gun violence is a fun pastime. Society collapses every time the temperature drops below 40 degrees. We begin with the most spacious 3-bedroom I've ever seen. He arrives home late on his birthday, and Sarah has bought him a new watch with the money she made from selling her Adderall prescription. My therapist says young Joel isn't real, he can't hurt you. Hello? Focus. The main one you're going to notice is how every hallway is as wide as the corridors of Buckingham Palace. Sarah, stay back. Something is sus. Does he have a mushroom growing out of the side of his head? Jimmy, eat the fucking corn. Tommy! Hey, you guys haven't eaten any vegetables, have you? We drive through the speedrunner's vein as we watch the world devolve into chaos faster than an episode of regular show. The concussive force of the car crash throws our consciousness into the body of our father. Now we get to enjoy The Last of Us's riveting gameplay. But before we can dive into we're safe. We've ended our yearly cardio exercise. Did you want any vegetables today? No, just 30 pounds of raw beef. You're too fit to eat. Good toleration. Don't lose your head there. Control reasons.
You know you're here.
Keep this way, by the way.
I think we're going to get it taking the nation by storm. It's called... Called the Fireflies claim responsibility. Quotes, you better stop that. You haven't
How'd they get away? Scan the area. They're around here somewhere.
20 years later, the fungus is still among us. The U.S. government has militarized the CDC and established a quarantine zone in Boston to protect the nation from the green menace. Relationship to be entirely similar with one person who's really big about every single fucking thing they talk about, another person who's just done to understand. The guys with the will start losing federal money for the police high barricades, attempt to silently strangle him, fuck up, and shoot everything it moves. Everything in this game is full of control of somebody who goes the distance, take your best friend in front of you, then execute that. Does that make me a psychopath? Only if my therapist comes back. While Joel and Tessa are one day murdering the competition, we stumble into the plot of The Last of Us.
Hey, I was going to hire that guy for a job, but seeing as how Pets just ventilated his skull, I guess I'll hire you guys.
Wow, this murdering the competition really works. Why doesn't every business do this?
I'm going to introduce you to Ellie. She's small, but she talks like a David Mamet blade. You're going to take her to the State House. There's just something you should know.
She's a freak. The way out immediately. To escape the dreaded clutches of the boys. As we arrive at the State House, we discover ourselves are currently more than fucking citizens. The circle's really then we came back and just when you go on the last what the hell are you talking about? I can't stop. I need my last thought. Such fucking day here. Just tell me what the fuck you mean. For once in your fucking life, I have to live. It's to Gilly to talk. Promise me the ambiguous of the
God damn it! Joey! Move out! Okay then.
I'll find you.
Sure what that means,
Damn, where'd you learn to do that?
Took me a while to get the hang of it.
The town of Lincoln, or as I call it, the Iraq experience. This town has more IUDs per capita than Peru. This is watched over by Bill, the patron saint of missing people. We need Bill to give us his phone. To find him, we'll have to navigate the kind of smart, walkable, mixed-use urbanism it's illegal to build in most quarantine zones. Today on the Adventures of Joel and his favorite brick, we find ourselves struggling to survive in small-town America with a variety of environmental puzzles. Thank God the lumber yard has kept this place stocked with enough loose 2x4s to bridge the Grand Canyon. This is also the chapter where the crafting system will come into full force, and you'll start spending hours scouring every desk drawer and back alley for precious scissors. Holy shit, will you need a lot of scissors. However many scissors you find is never enough. You can also find random prescription medications that make you hear farther instead of giving you diarrhea. This town has a lot to explore, and I can't imagine this game being as good if I missed a single second of it. There are people who speedrun this game, but that feels like speedrunning fucking American Dad. 80% of the enjoyment in the first event comes from the story, and you have to give yourself room to experience it, or you're gonna feel like you're suffocating to death. After getting bridged and discovering the infinite ammo, we're saved by the absolute unit of a man, the big Chungus himself, Eddie Shrek. It's just fucking Shrek, son.
Right.
Radius specific.
Yo, why is not the volume able to hold so many degrees?
This chapter is just watching backwards videos waiting for the monster to show up. Except sometimes the monster is you. So I'm going to do what the state of Pennsylvania is too jealous to do and excise Pittsburgh entirely, one person at a time. But just when we thought the game was going to devolve into needless brutality, we meet Henry, a black fan in a horror franchise who shares Joel's hobby of crushing people's windpipes. Hey, why did a timer just appear above my head? This is Sam. What the fuck? So what brings two of you to Pittsburgh? What brings anyone to Pittsburgh? Human trafficking. We're trying to join up with the Fireflies. I was thinking becoming a child soldier would help Sam be less of a screw up. You got a plan to get out of here? I do. Been working on it for a while. Alright? Hit me with it. We're gonna leave. Looking Really? You know, I was being sarcastic earlier, but it actually worked really well.
By the way, you coward!
Worst mistake I ever made. Our gang now scours the suburbs of Pittsburgh, canvassing for votes. Unfortunately, drugs think that's a performance all of a sudden. Must contend with the suburban sniper. Instead of practicing the ancient art of the shooting scoop, the sniper has graduated from the Call of Duty Academy with a master's in camping. Campers are the scum of the earth. But what he doesn't realize is that I graduated from the Battlefield 4 School of Countermeasure. Hey guys, Big Geek Entertainment here. Welcome to YouTube in 2009. It turns out camping is a great app. So please enjoy my Modern Warfare compilation. They took me down right now. They'd be insanely embarrassed that they spent 30 swinging bullets and their armored car taking me down with 6 arrows in their toilets even. You know, Joel, in this time I first appeared above my head, I thought, like every other black man in the horror franchise, I was going to die horribly. Now that we're here, safe at this radio station, I'm starting to think that maybe I'm not defined by this time right by my head. Maybe tropes don't define our existence, and I can just focus on being the best big brother I can or sing. Speaking of which, where is that fuck up? Sam is sulking because Henry thinks he's a screw-up, which he is. Why are you so brave? I'm scared, afraid of being alone. Why aren't you afraid of living? Oh yeah, I'm immune. Really? Could I be immune? No, it's just me. Anyway, here's Transformers. Okay, fine, two things.
Everyone!
Okay, we'll see. So wait, we made it all the way from Pennsylvania without once seeing a gas station.
Alright.
Well, that was fucking weird. And then nothing happened for 4 months. Welcome to Jackson County, Wyoming. Nothing of interest happened for like 1,700 miles. We were robbed with Joel and Ellie's adventures through fucking Iowa. They apparently walked the entire way from Pittsburgh to Jackson over the course of 3 months. That's a 2-week bike ride. The virus destroyed all bikes. Or would Joel rather die than be seen on a bicycle? Either way, it's safe to say American car culture has outlived America.
Plenty of small-mindedness and literary ego.
Joshua!
You look like a different version of yourself. You've got yourself a stable look at my hyperelectric dam.
Damn!
It's called that science.
I didn't even hit him with the sharp side.
Restless and pretty much sounds like your problem had so far. When that works, it will until one of them figure out how guns work. I can't believe the Army never thought of this. It was literally designed to counter fast, disorganized hordes. So we do that for the zombies, and usually we can tell that they're not considered humans because there would be a suspicious amount of just headphones.
Yeah, so I noticed on the way in here.
Great. Now I gotta deal with this.
Welcome to Ted Bundy's Free, except instead of different with patrons willing to dump what they're housing for free. It's a bunch of clerks and hard too stupid to live, but at least they're smart enough to wear head protection on the job site. Unlike Joel, a literal contractor. Anyway, now that that's over, I have a proposition for you.
I'm not taking that girl off your hands. It would deprive you of your character arc.
Don't matter because the gold's gone. We track Ellie down to a random house in the forest where she involved in the most important conversation in the narrative. You're not my daughter. And I don't care how many times you say the word shit, I'm never gonna care about you like you're one of my own. Because you have no idea what true loss is. So you, oh well shit, now that you mention it, I never thought of it that way. Well, we best be moving on.
Really? You don't want to spend the night in a place with central heating?
Our friendship would keep us warm.
Do you need any supplies or guns?
Form a strangler.
Do you even have enough food and medicine to survive the
I
winter?
can't hear you, I'm too far away. Welcome to Kent State University, a school powered by equal parts innovation and independence. I don't care what kind of hurry you're in, you're not leaving a flamethrower behind. We make our way through the facility and discover the Fireflies have wasted my time yet again by leaving. We also learn that a dude just released the infected monkeys. The definition of fucking around and finding out. Fortunately for us, the side effect of Ligma is the compulsion to make random audio logs. They were some sort of clue. He told me not to release the infected monkeys. How bad could it be at the time you're listening to this? Be dead. Bitten by a monkey. I'd do it again. As I sit here dying, I find myself pondering the great questions of life. I find myself into a pickle. Why were the holes in the cages the perfect size? I mean, can we really be sure this vaccine wouldn't have caused autism? Though they went where all League of Legends players go. Salt Lake City. Who are these guys? Oh shit, it's PETA. Where are the monkeys? Bring us the monkeys. Welcome to the Reverse Hospital, where you enter healthy and leave dead, using the twin powers of crouching and guns. We're able to operate a PETA-approved shelter with maximum efficiency. But remember, Joel is an anti-OSHA contractor, and therefore he absolutely refused to cap his rebar. Welcome to Wii Sports Resort, Zombie Edition. Today's activity is archery, except if you're off target to start the day. Ellie is hunting a deer that refuses to die. Hopefully I didn't just piss off the John Wick of deers.
Are you a pedophile? Peter, and we're here to protest you for hunting that dear. He is hurt, you know.
Yeah, well, so is pleasure. You didn't answer my question. Joey Lyle's been laid over the case of your unspecified symptoms. I'm going to take care of you, because I know one day you'll do the same for me. Ellie is then immediately pursued until she's headlocked by the kid, taking a Freddy Fazbear's interview to answer for her crimes.
You and I are doing some different years. We at Peter have always known that Roots was murder. But only after we ran out of our token did we realize that murder was
Over here!
the old Dolores. We were cool, but all we had were poor old animals. It wasn't ethical to kill them. They never did any harm to us. And then we realized it was a species that did to us. And we got to thinking, if it was ethical to leave the clothes on their animals, why not their
Here!
Here, why don't you try some?
Got another rifle! Yeah!
Black steak sauce.
You shit, stuff.
Damn!
Unfortunately for him, both of us have a constant supply of bottles, and he's about to get glass. It's a ballroom with lights. Welcome to the final boss fight of the game. Unless you count unarmed doctors. David is fast, like scary times, but not fast enough to dodge the whip. We have a knife, but I might as well be stabbing to death with what plastic while the good is doing. But thanks to the rule of threes, we're finally able to take it down.
I offered you punch, and you spat in my face.
Oh my god, how am I closer to death than you? You're the one that got stabbed. Joel continues his rip-roaring rampage of revenge to the Outback Steakhouse, where he finds Ellie deconstructing David like fucking sashimi. Ellie, it's okay, it's me. You Carol's style barbecue. Maniac, you did the right thing, girl. We arrive at Salt Lake City having accomplished the impossible. Travel through the United States without seeing a single highway region. I think Joel would have learned his lesson about entering dark tunnels, but I guess all those blow not breathe and sure. Oldest excuse in the book.
Hey, you're finally awake.
Did you get here so fast?
I rode my bike. It took me 20 days. I don't know why you walked across the country for 6 months. You must have run across a bike shop at some point.
Where's Ellie?
Ellie's in surgery.
Is she gonna be okay?
Well, you know, it's brain surgery, so there's not zero risk. But her prognosis looks good. I trust our surgeon.
Is what Marlene should have said. But instead she said,
Well, no, we're gonna crack that dome with a coconut and jam a fucking immersion blender in her brain.
is vaccine even gonna help at this point? Even if no one else gets infected, people are still running around getting bit in the jugular. Are you guys gonna vaccinate people against getting licked?
You've been spending too much time with your brother. You have the brain for your own.
Not signing anything. Welcome to the final chapter of the end of everything. Fight one. Finally, I've acquired a gun fit for a true American rampage. And I didn't leave any witnesses, so there's no way anyone could trace this back to me in 10 years and hunt me down in an epic quest for vengeance.
Hey, buddy, what you got there?
The gun?
Damn it, Joel, you killed the last of
I
us.
guess that makes me the last of us, too.
That doesn't make any sense.
You know, Ellie, I think you really were like my dead daughter. Of course, she'd be like 34. Then again, she could have ended up being really homophobic for all I know. Joel, swear to me, there's no cure for Ligma. Ellie, I swear to you, there is no cure for Ligma balls. I fucking got it. The main legacy of this game is the rise of the serious dad joke. Because gamers need a video game to be a good father. In this case, it means not letting an unlicensed actor perform lethal brain surgery on their child. Thanks, Naughty Dog, for that important life lesson. I think the reason the series has adapted so well into prestige television is because that's what it's always been. Because this is the video game equivalent of Oscar bait. The gameplay takes a backseat to the story. Sorry, Naughty Dog, I did not find acting as a human barge to be especially compelling. But the thing that I remember about this game is the pulse-pounding, square-mashing combat. It's the fucking giraffes. It's not even an original idea. It's the Walking Dead and Exploding Appear, but it's an extremely well-presented story.
Right over here!
With a focused narrative. That's the biggest impact. All Joel or anybody else has weapons. world, since gamer-based actually published facts, it's more theorized with the future specifically Ellie's. The problem becomes that there's no point in that future without Ellie in it. So it somehow manages to make a decision that is simultaneously selfish and selfless, but it's duality in opposition, and eventually it's
Right here!
Strap Gaming, and Ella Scott for taking the time to lend their voices to this ridiculous video. Go to their channels right now, or I will infect you with the cordyceps fungus. Go now. Comment on their videos and tell them subscribe to their channels. The more people do that, the more credibility I get as a
looking for a way out for a year, and now she has. By refusing to go after Abby, Ellie has extinguished any hope Tommy can have of affirming his own self-worth and evoking a sense of meaning in his life. Tommy has become who Joel was before he...
Yeah, he was streaming yesterday, and I think we're on is because we were shitting on the stall for like 5 minutes, and then he just typed in shit. He was like, where were you at? I remember what you said. I was sleeping so down. And we were just like...
Fan out.
He said, yeah, it's like I say something, I fucking just in one ear, out the other. Well, wait, no, my mouth. In your ear. In your ear. Yeah, back. My brain in my mouth. The ears. And that's a big process by the end of it. Standing in a telephone. Yeah, one part of your own. It's like schizophrenic, so you're putting telephone with every time. And then it comes out. Yeah. And then it goes out their mouth and back into their ears, and they're like, that is a fantastic idea. CIA is myself just anyway, I was like, this is season 2 episode. Or, yeah, speaking of the fucking, wait, we were talking about something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was on Discord and I was trying to meet some, people. Okay, the people that meet up.
Kathy, move up!
So I get on the Discord and I get on
They must have forgot who the hell I am.
It just won't stop talking in order to try to
I almost got me, but shit.
and he was oh, that sounds like a survey. I just people like that. Yeah, anyway, so I got space. He kept like just saying insane shit. And then, okay, so one guy was like, oh, so like I'm looking at my Tinder profile, and then he just cuts him off and he says, I bet you don't get any pussy because you're freaking ugly and stupid and fat. And then it's just like quiet in there. He goes, all right, guys, I thought we were memeing in here. I thought we were joking. And you guys aren't laughing at what I said. And then like 2 minutes went by of just casual conversation. And he comes back in, he's just like, did you, like, blow her ass out? Like, her fucking, like, her butthole out? Because she's, like, a fat bitch? Rudeness is unnecessary. And then he sits there for, like, 10 seconds before he's like, okay, guys, I thought we were joking. I'm joking. What? You guys are clamming up. And I just left. I was like, I can't. He did that shit for, like, 20 minutes. There was multiple fuck-ups. Yeah. And so he kept doing it like more and more. And the verbal attack. He's still fat, ugly retard. He's looking at stuff about your family. He gets down to where he's just like threatening. We all had a sense of humor. What's going on? Got friends that decapitate your daughters, and this is the response I get. You should be laughing right now. That's Friday humor.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of, maybe your audience, they see kind of
We share an audience. That's your audience too.
your audience. My audience is like a subsect that's, kind of like little angels. Your audience are the deviants, and it's like, they see us on the podcast being like, you idiot. But it's like so much different than just a random ass person. Like when you're just trying to talk, being like, I'm gonna kill your mom. This guy. Classy.
Yeah.
It's classy.
Yeah.
But
I've always said it. In order to retain the classiness, you have to know someone at least 6 months before you put things together.
yeah, like coworkers and stuff. Threatening to blow their butt out.
Yeah.
Like deliver it in such an incredibly funny way that everyone's like, well, you know what? You get the pass.
Yeah.
Well, you get the ass blown out. Yeah, you blew my mom's butt ass. I think that's a very coveted.
I think you're going to give those out every year. Just
They're only going to get an inward pass. Yeah. It was from the black guy. You said, hey, I gave you the pass. I totally read the situation wrong.
And so then you were saying the N-word for me.
You see anything?
And they tried to validate your pass. This is the N-word pass? The ass balloon pass.
Just say that it's my mother.
Yeah.
Reporting.
It's N-word.
Miles! Fucking ambush!
Be racist, what you're saying, right?
Then out. Behind the fuck you up!
Screaming at women or
Over there!
Go back here and
Discord.
people can talk. Yeah, and everyone else just listen. Yeah. We should all do a little bit more listening, a little less talking.
That's the 3 guys on the podcast.
Yeah. We just take like 5 minutes. Just listen to the world, listen to your bodies. And they tell you things.
Eat a quesadilla.
There's this is a
Yeah,
sober
fuck me up.
podcast. I really closed it about it. My roommate was like, yeah, you can have one of my gummies, like a coworker gave them to me. Open up the bag, loaded mold. And I was, it's the lowest. Just taking a potato peeler to it and getting off that first layer. That would be fine.
Yeah.
But I have a big
You're looking at living evidence that you would have been fine. Because a mutual friend of ours got me some cookies, and I'm not going to eat a bunch of edibles in like a week. Like, it was like a box of edibles. And so,
tasty.
Months later, I'm still munching away on them. And, like, I pulled them out, and one was just absolutely moldy. And I just, like, took a butter knife and went right off the top. Ate that shit. Like, completely fine. After the drive and everything was done.
Yeah. And it sucks even more because there's like a pretty streamlined way there for me, like a way that goes straight there. I just did my bitch account and pay like $40 of taxes and like $500 of they did my taxes fee.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the opposite direction. That's that was a big slap in the ass. And it definitely blew my asshole when they they're like, yeah, you owe the state $27, but you're gonna owe us several because their baseline is $400 to do your taxes, and then it goes up the more complicated it is. And I'm like, I'm a Twitch streamer, and they're like, what are you thinking about? They were pretty awesome though. Like, I just filled out a sheet with like, they're like, fill out your expenses. I wrote down like PS5 and like 3 other things. And she was even like, Mom, are you sure you don't want to like more in here? You know, it's part of your time. Or like your internet. Good. I can't like remember. Like, oh, dude, I got my house mapped out. Square footage of the office versus square footage of the house, and deduct part of the mortgage from it. I'm gonna do that this year because the basement is all technically like in this space, and it's the size of the house. But even though I'm not technically in it yet, and it's technically might not ever be built, but go down there and do one stream from it, and then you're able to have video evidence. You're down there. Yeah, I'm good. Right. It's been long. Maybe 2022. Nice. Start calling things quarters. More things.
Alright.
Yeah. 4, three. I think 4 could be in the third quarter. Yeah. So years is older. What time are we in right now? Like time 8.
I'm gonna find you.
We're at like time 7. Okay, now what's next? Where's suspicion? This is already off the rails. Yeah, I know. Wait. Back on the rails. I had a dream. I had a dream last night. Okay, 2 dreams. One of them being, I watched both Spider-Man. I watched Spider-Man 1 and 2 last night. I was trying to convince someone that they're great. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I haven't watched them in years, and, you know, I'll be the first one to admit, obviously there's some nostalgia in there. It was like the coolest movie I'd ever seen when I was a kid. I wore a Spider-Man costume around the house, like, from that movie, you know. And Tobey Maguire's, like, I was like, this guy's a badass, and he's hot. And, you know, the other characters are fine, too. But Spider-Man 1 definitely aged a little worse than I remembered in some ways. Great. Like, Willem Dafoe. Yeah, he's great. We just all get I mean, just get along with my opinions and we won't have a problem, you know? They should get along with the fact that they're second and third place. They're wrong. Yeah. And I'm right. And that's okay. And why can't we all just get that? No, but like, I've seen complaints about like, the Tom Holland movies are just better. I'm a big MCU fan, but they definitely fall way more into the MCU formula. You know, do this. They don't lean into the seriousness of parts. They throw in a little banter, a little jokey. Whereas, like, you know, I'm watching Spider-Man 1 and 2. I got tears in my eyes. You know, I'm getting real emotional.
There's a serious lack of difference between. I really have a hard time knowing whether or not I'm watching a horror movie. If he's not on the screen, if they're just like showing the bad guy doing something, I'm like, who knows which one of these fucking things?
It's an Ant-Man or something. What is this? Is this Star Wars? What's happening?
They all have the same vibe going on.
Thor Ragnarok, I think, was a great example of spicing it up a little bit. It just leaned into it being a comedy. You know?
Want to see a bad movie, though? Go rewatch the first Thor.
Oh, yeah.
Like, half of it was shot in, like, Dutch angles, like Battlefield Earth and shit.
3 fucking Thors? Yeah, and only the third one is worth watching. Have you seen Ragnarok, Sam?
Yeah. Yeah, this one was directed by Taika Waititi.
Jeff Goldblum was great.
He honestly just plays Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, which is like,
fucking great,
an easy paycheck and also a good addition. Any movie could. Jeff Goldblum.
Same thing with Christopher Walken. He always plays himself, and he just waltzes on set, and he's
not gonna do Christopher Walken. For a second.
He's great.
Why not? Yeah, gonna do it. Alfred Molina, the sex appeal was astonishing. And
who were you watching this with again?
Doc Buck. No one.
Himself in a bottle of
I was watching it with someone.
Just someone, just a human.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. A person.
It
really felt like it was just me and Toby. It wasn't little brother. But anyway, I had a dream. Now that I've been thinking about it, make for a great movie. Well, I had a dream basically that Tobey Maguire was in it, and he was a bad boy. And he was just fucking Spider-Man. And instantly, him and Zendaya, or whatever, were hitting it. And he was in like high school. And like Tom was there too, and it was a dream. I was like, can I see something? Like, what's going on? I'm just like fly on the wall watching them like interact. It's just a big. It would, it's never gonna happen. Whatever. He just showed up in the new one and just like, popped the leather collar and just had a really in-depth sex scene with every, Andrew Garfield's love interest. Tom Holland's, let's say it's aged up, let's say it's 5 years in the future. But like, if they gave, the first MCU sex scene, Tobey Maguire.
And she's fucking everybody's girl.
Okay.
And then they independently find out, and they come to confront him one by one, and he seduces them as well.
Got a visual?
Or he just
Nothing here.
one punch
What is
breaks
going
their face off. This is like the most exciting
Let them
It's like very geared towards Toby in this movie. Different universe, it's not technically related.
There's gonna be some complexities about that at some point. Like, would you fucking alternate universe version of, like that, or yourself even? I don't know.
Is that
probably?
What are you talking about, Pooh?
I don't know.
I mean, if you go into an alternate universe and you go to fuck yourself, Pooh, naturally people are gonna be like, "Oh, this is that's like just masturbation." But honestly, like the other version of yourself could totally not be in the mood. So it's basically like fucking an identical twin, which I don't think.
Yeah,
is
but they don't even know. But they're like not even the same. Like they don't look the same. It'd be like fucking other person that's you. I don't know.
Well, what if you gotta
fuck about having sex with like clones and stuff too much as it is? This is a little different though. This is a little classier. This is a thinker's question.
Yeah.
Okay, this is.
We're not dealing with sci-fi. We're dealing with just science of the future.
I hope this movie kind of touches on that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Tobey Maguire fucks Tom Holland.
Or Andrew Garfield.
Or okay.
Yeah.
Or both. Why not all three of them?
Yeah, I mean that. I don't know.
They're cool.
That could be fucking awesome.
That was.
Your dream was something about Spider-Man being a perv and like molesting.
That cool, yeah.
Fighting over a high schooler and it's
moving with Blair, yeah, and hitting on a high schooler.
That seems pretty on brand for him, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is he a good guy outside of movies?
He wouldn't be like super friendly.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not trying to be friends with the guy. I just want him to have sex with another Spider-Man. It's
a very young Spider-Man.
Yeah. No, okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
I just want him to dominate this other.
Let me specify sex in this dream. There was just some suggestive, kind of flirting.
Popping
like,
a collar.
And yeah, it was like
Well, fuck me.
Okay. Let's get some dreams. I did find something kind of funny online. World News. That's funny, right?
We think like little info graphics.
I'll put that in. It's the same, like this ribbon that goes across the globe, and the ribbon has like the headline. Breaking news. I watched I read an article on if you're gay in Turkey, in the country of Turkey, and then they have mandatory military service, right? Well, you can get out of their mandatory military service
When you're lost in the
gay.
darkness.
Oh, is there any downside? Do they?
Yeah, the article really was a long boy, kind of highlighting the process of getting out of military service by explaining your gayness, certifying your gayness. And they want to have character witnesses, like your parents have to come in and they have to go like, this is the gayest kid. This guy is so fucking gay. You have no
I swear I'm not gay. Like my friends and family going, yeah, he's gay. All right. No, I want to be in the military.
I want to serve my country. That guy's gay as fuck. That's my boy. Gay. They're so supportive over there in Turkey. Well, not only do you have to have a character witness, but there's been instances where they want media, like a picture or a video that shows not only your face, but your penis going into somebody else's ass.
Yeah. So fucked up.
And then you bring this evidence to like a military tribunal where they sit there and go over it frame by frame. Yep, that is the penis going in. Yes. And that is, witness, can you please stand? And they like compare the face and everything.
Do you have any other angles to this? I'm just curious. Yeah.
I just imagine like a big war room of like military brass going over getting their ass blown out.
Yeah. That's just such an invasion of all privacy.
Wait, hold on. The guy, okay, what about the guy receiving? Can he get out of jury duty or whatever?
Jury duty?
Military duty.
Same thing.
I'm assuming if he was,
If they both had a picture where he was like this.
He's like his friends behind him smiling as well.
Giving a thumbs up or a high five.
Yeah.
I saw something on Twitter the other day about in Canada in like the 60s, they would go around with this, like around to, like people in the military or like high-ranking officials and all this stuff, and like show them like male porn basically.
I'll do my damnedest. Easy.
What?
They killed Shannon! Fan out, quick! Watch yourselves.
Hey, Emily!
Did you see anything?
Nothing here.
All right.
By the cords!